Mr. Chairman, I thank you for calling this markup on H.R. 4273, which was favorably reported out of the Subcommittee on Energy and Power with a commitment from both sides that we would continue to work in good faith to reach an agreement on how to best address environmental concerns while simultaneously protecting the grid against reliability emergency. We've come to that agreement, and I'm pleased to offer an amendment in the nature of a substitute reflecting this agreement, along with my colleagues Mr. Green and Mr. Doyle. This amendment was truly a compromise, and while the process wasn't easy, especially given some of the ideological differences of opinion, I'm proud to report that to this committee and the constituents I represent back home that we were able to find middle ground on this important matter. Maintaining grid reliability is not a partisan issue. Everyone can agree that blackouts pose a significantly higher risk to public health than the temporary violation of an environmental permit. Hospitals, schools, businesses, and public services like water, sewer, and transit systems rely on a steady flow of electricity. Without it, there is chaos. We cannot place an electricity generator in the untenable position of having to choose whether to abide by an emergency order to prevent a blackout or violate an environmental permit. Doing so would jeopardize the reliability of our electric grid and erode Americans' confidence in their government. The amendment that my colleagues and I offer today makes clear that compliance with an emergency order shall not be considered a violation of any federal, state, or local environmental laws, while also directing the Department of Energy to consult with the appropriate environmental regulator to ensure that the impacts are minimized. This amendment does not substantially change the original language or intent of the bill. It would simply add a new section directing DOE to consult with other agencies to consider ways to reduce the likelihood of violating an environmental permit. This is already DOE's standard practice. I believe that balancing environmental concerns is important. However, DOE's directive must take precedent in an emergency. This amendment ensures just that by clarifying that DOE has the explicit authority to make the reliability determination. And so while we can receive input from the environmental regulator, DOE retains the authority to grant final approval to ensure the emergency doesn't result in a blackout. Mr. Chairman, this is a fair approach and one that I encourage my colleagues to support. With this amendment, H.R. 4273 will improve Section 202 of the Federal Power Act so that it protects consumers, the environment, and those who provide power. With that, I'd be happy to yield any additional time I have to those who wish to speak in support of this amendment.